You are doing well this Tuesday. I want, if you are, but to do it on a regular basis will break you down mentally and physically. So I want you to be aware of that, especially if you're a newbie, if you're new to the field, you need to be aware that when you earn those days off, you need to take them. You need to take your lunch hour every single day and get out of the office. Leave the office and take that time for you. Okay. If you don't, you're training the employer to count on you during that time. That doesn't mean you're a weak worker, that you don't have a strong work ethic, that some attorneys will say, we like people who work hard. That doesn't mean you don't work hard during the 8 hours that you owe the employer. But during the other time, be careful with how much you give up, because you're setting a pattern when you do that with the employer. Be very careful. Take care of numero uno, you. You know, everybody will survive if you don't, if you, take your lunch hour and you take your vacation or personal days that are due you that you have earned. Take them. Don't wait until the end of 2019 to take days that are due you, because everybody that has seniority will take theirs before you, and you won't be able to take your vacation. So, and it doesn't mean that maybe you're not going to go anywhere, but you still need to take your vacation. You need to make plans for the weekends that you cannot break, so that you're not available all the time. Don't train an employer to the fact that you're always around, and so you don't have a life, so you'll always be at the law firm. Do not do that. It's not healthy mentally or physically. So let's go over some of these. Number one, you are busy but not productive. We can have busy work, but are you getting the things done at work that you need to do? And are you working in an efficient way, using a to-do list, using your calendar, having all those things work together so that when you leave work at night and also on Friday night, that you're not spending your evening hours and your weekend time thinking about work, okay? Number two, you're irritable. Well, your body's trying to tell you something, that something is amiss somewhere, whether it's the home life or whether it's work life. Something is not going along well, and you need to make a change. I have left law firms in order to have a happier home life, because I was bringing it home with me, the stress of it. It's not necessary. And the unhappiness associated with my workplace, not necessary to go through that. Once you've got a year or two under your belt, you can change law firms. You're not stuck, but you have to know your worth, understand your value, and understand what your skill sets are. What have you learned? I always talk about writing that information down in a notebook, and I always have one with me, because I've got to put reminders or projects I want to work on for myself. Be careful with letting work take over your personal life. Okay, if you're not doing anything or you're bored at home, then develop a hobby or two. But don't let work become the 24/7. It's not a healthy thing to do. Number three, when you accomplish a goal, and that could be, if it's at work where we prepared for trial and I worked for a solid week where I was working from 8:30 in the morning till 11 or 12 midnight for 5 days solid, to get ready to file, I think it was 11 or 12 complaints, and all the copies had to go out and all this stuff. When it came to that Friday where we had to get it all out, the staff, my fellow staff members, took off, weren't there to help, and an attorney stayed behind who knew how to do all this. I was looking at him kind of like the side eye, like, you know, after that, you know, don't get them. If an employer says, well, we're going to give you a cell phone and you're going to be available 24/7, don't take that job. Don't do that. That's insanity. Nobody should treat another human like that. That's unacceptable. So plan getaways. It might just be a day. It might be a drive. You know, just getting, like, my favorite drive would be going to, you know, St. Augustine, or just going to just taking a drive. We can drive on our beach, taking a drive that way. Anything to detox from the week or the day if it was particularly troublesome or stressful. And make sure you have those things in place at work that streamline what you do, that to-do list, that calendar, anything that brings it all together, so when you leave at night, you are not thinking about deadlines. You're not thinking about whether you forgot something, that you're not thinking about that you're going to get yelled at the next day because you forgot to do that. You're not thinking about that you're going to get yelled at the next day because you forgot to do that one detail that everybody was depending on you for because you didn't write it down. Get into your organizational mode, but then when you leave at 5:30 or 6 o'clock at night, forget it. Go do something, to work on a hobby, work on something creative, whatever it is. Go to a kid's basketball game. Get away from thinking about work and protect your body and your mind, okay? So hope you're having a great day today. I am going to sign off. This is one of the most important things for paralegals and people new to the field, whether you're a legal secretary, legal assistant, paralegal, legal receptionist. No one should be expected to be there all the time just because it's an attorney's business. That's their business. It's not your business. You're there for 8 hours, that's enough, unless it's an emergency situation. So protect yourself that way. All right, words of wisdom from moi, who's been in the field for a long time. Have a great day, and I will talk to you in tomorrow's video. Take care. Bye.